Hi everyone, and welcome to Vocabulary Episode 7, Homophones Part 2. Now, if you want to refresh your mind as to what homophones are, please go back to Episode 6 and have a look. Are you ready for your next 5 homophones? Let's go. Now, the first one is waist, W-A-I-S-T. Now, this is just a noun, and it means the middle part of your body, just above your hips. So you can read the examples here if you want to pause the video. Let's look at the other waist and compare. Now, waist, which is W-A-S-T-E, has multiple uses, but they're all quite similar in a way. Now, the first one is a verb and a noun, obviously, and it means the excessive use of something with no purpose, almost like throwing it away. But if you want to use it also as an adjective, as a noun in this way, it means something is already useless, so you want to throw it away. But it can also mean something completely different. It can mean that land is unused, practically empty. So pause the video, read these examples, and you'll be able to clearly see the difference between the two waist words. Let's look at our next set of homophones. Tail. Now, T-A-I-L is clearly the tail of an animal, or something that looks like an animal's tail. But it can also mean as a verb that somebody follows and observes someone's behavior, usually quite secretly. Like a police officer would do that, for example, or a private detective. So pause the video and read these examples. Now let's look at the other tail. Now, tail with T-A-L-E is just a story that somebody tells you. And most of the time it's fiction, but it can be true as well. So pause the video and have a look at these examples, and you'll clearly see the difference between tail, A-I-L, and tail, A-L-E. Let's look at our next set of homophones. Weak. Now, weak with E-A-K means as an adjective that you have no strength or no energy left to do whatever it is you need to do, any kind of tasks. Now, obviously the example will help you understand how I've used that, but it can also mean when you're talking about an object that something is likely to break or damage itself in some way. But when you're talking about people, you mean that you can manipulate those people because someone has a weak spot for you. So pause the video and read these examples, and let's look at the other week, the most popular one. Now, week with double E-K is obviously 7 days. Or when you're talking about Monday until Friday, and you remember the words weekdays, weekends, this is the week we have to use for those words. Okay? Now, the next word is die, D-I-E. It's obviously a verb that means to stop living. Very sad case. But pause the video and look at the examples and see how I've used the word. Now let's compare this die to the other die, D-Y-E. Now D-Y-E as a noun means artificial color, like what we use on our hair. But as a verb, it means to actually color something. Again, to color your hair, for example, or some piece of clothing. So pause the video and have a look at these examples and compare die with a Y-E and die with I-E to see the difference very clearly. Now let's look at our last set of homophones, the word piece. Now obviously this piece is used more frequently than the other one, and as a noun it means that it's part of a whole, a small piece of the whole. But it can also mean some kind of artistic creation, a piece of music, anything that is artistic. Just one part of a whole once again, but a more artistic one. But also as a verb, it can mean to put something together that is in pieces. So pause the video and have a look at these examples to see how we use P-I-E-C-E. And let's compare it to the other piece. P-E-A-C-E. Now, this means you have a quiet and calm environment. Some nice, peaceful environment around you. Or it can literally mean a period of time without any war. So pause the video, have a look how I've used these examples, and you'll clearly see the difference between peace with EACE and peace with IECE. I hope you've enjoyed your second set of homophones, and stay tuned for the third set very soon. Good luck.